And trust me, that one is just overpowered in my opinion. Okay, sorry for interrupting this video. I just thought that maybe you wanna gonna know that you can gonna get a skin for free. Yes, absolutely for free, okay? So all you have to do is subscribe to my channel, like this video, comment down below your ID, your in-game name, and the skin that you want, which is under 300 diamonds, okay? And you'll have a chance of winning that for free, okay? You'll find more information down in the description, okay? But sorry, let's gonna jump back into this amazing video. What's up people, and welcome to this video. So in this video guys, we're gonna take a look at this new patch, this new small update which just came out to the advanced survey, okay? So if you have seen the other video, which I did, I was talking about they adding new buffs, as we can see here. So basically they have went ahead and added a new buff for the red buff and the blue buff. Well, instead of the red buff and the blue buff, for fighters, tanks, assassins, mage, marksman, so for all of the roles, okay? A special buff for all of them, okay? So in this video guys, we're gonna jump in and take a look at every single one of these buffs, okay? So as you can see right here, I'm gonna go in this order. I'm gonna start with tank, then fighter, then assassin, then mage, then marksman, and lastly support, okay? So with no further ado, let's gonna jump in and take a look at the tank buff and see what it will do and exactly what will be happening when you're using that. So let's gonna take a look. So the first hero is gonna be Gacha. Reason is why he is a tank. So let's gonna take a look at this tank buff and see what it actually will be doing. Okay, so bam, we are in the game and we're just gonna go around directly to the red buff right here, which is no longer the red buff, it's the tank buff, or it's the fighter buff, assassin buff, marksman buff, mage buff, whatever. It's a buff for the hero which you're playing basically. And I'm not gonna go and take this buff and then run over to this buff. Well, actually maybe this first time I will do it, but the buffs are exactly identical to one another, okay? So either way, we're gonna start off by taking this buff and let's gonna see what it actually will go ahead and do. So what up dude, let's gonna do that, let's go to distribution. And let's gonna kill this little boy right here and see exactly what we will be getting. Okay, so I've already kinda taken a look at like what all of the buffs and stuff like that do. So I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, the tank buff is it will remove the cost, like mana cost of his abilities. Yeah, but that's basically what I remember. So we got it right now, so I'm just gonna read. Tank buff. Skill mana consumption reduced by 50%. Physical and magic defense raised by 15%. So if we take a look at his abilities right here, you can see mana cost is extremely low. Take a look at his ultimate, it is 60. The mana cost is usually 120. Okay, so a huge mana cost decrease right there, which is just insane. Look at that, the mana cost is very, very low. So we're gonna take the blue buff here. Why didn't I buy this one? Well, okay, we're gonna try to take the blue buff. And let's see here. And just to show you guys that it will do exactly the same thing. So you can see I have this buff currently. So now I'm just gonna show you what will happen when I'm gonna take this blue buff, which you no longer can't really call blue buff because it's still, so see, this one just refreshed, it's exactly the same one, okay? So I get some more armor and magic resist and mana cost reduced, which is really great for tanks, okay? But let's gonna jump over to fighters. So the fighter buff we will gonna take a look at with the new hero Argus, obviously, because he's a fighter. So let's gonna take a look at what type of buff he will get. I have already shown you this, but just to go ahead and fresh up your memory, I will go ahead and do it yet again. Okay, so bam, we are in the game and we're just gonna run directly to red buff again and go ahead and take it and gonna see what actually the fighter we're gonna get. And I honestly I don't really remember what it was. I think it increased his physical attack, though I'm not gonna say anything because I'm not really sure about that. And this time Turtle is spawning on this side. Really funny. It switched its side over and over. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, the video link for the full review on this will be down in the description. So let's gonna take this boy right here. Let's do it. Okay, let's see. Takes a while. Definitely takes a while. Come on, man. I believe in you, man. Bam. And it's supposed to die any second right now. Bam. So it is dead right now. So it's gonna read through this buff. Okay, so skill cooldown reduced by 15%. Skill will slow target's movement speed by 20%. Lasts for 1.5 seconds. So each time I'm hitting an enemy, I guess it doesn't matter if it's auto attack or if it's an ability, it will slow them down by 20%, which is really good. And skill cooldown reduced by 15%. Okay, so all my skills, you can see cooldown is down by 15%, which isn't huge, but it's a pretty good buff. So let's gonna jump into the next one, which is Assassin, I think. So the next buff we're taking a look at is the Assassin buff, and the next buff will go ahead and be the Mage buff. And trust me, I've already seen the Mage buff, and it is definitely the strongest buff out of all of them, okay? But this time we're taking a look at Assassin buff, and let's see what exactly that will do to all the Assassins. Okay, so BAM! Yet again we have spawned. I feel like I'm gonna be doing this a lot, okay? So let's gonna buy the jungle item so we can take down the red buff a lot faster. And look at this! I have the police skin for Hayabusa. It is so cool, okay? It just feels like he's running like way too much. It looks so weird because it's not going so much forward, okay? But let's see what the red buff or the assassin buff will gonna give us. So let's gonna take a look at that. So let's kill him as fast as possible. Whoops! I don't think he's gonna run all the way around. No, I don't. Okay. That would be funny. He just walks around and starts attacking me away as well. Look at that. That means throwing shurikens on him. Okay, this went really fast. So, bam, you're dead. Let's gonna take a look at that buff right there. Assassin buff. Skill cooldown reduced by 10%. Skill resource consumption reduced by 20%. Physical and magic penetration increased by 15 points. Okay. So, you can see skill resource consumption, basically the mana, okay? Mana cost has gone down at all the abilities by 10%, okay? And let's see. No. Skill cooldowns reduced by 10%, and then the consumption is 20%, and then also magical and physical penetration increased by 15 points. He will be dealing a lot more damage. He will be able to deal, use more abilities with, yeah, more cooldown, less cooldown, and the mana will be costing less. And obviously this is on all the assassins, not only on Hayabusa right here. But let's gonna take a look at the Mage one, and trust me, that one is just overpowered in my opinion. But let's gonna take a look at it, shall we? So this time we're gonna be playing with Harley because he's Mage, and we will be able to see the Mage buff. Okay, so bam, yet again we are in the spawning location. This is just hilarious. It feels really annoying, it's spawning over and over. It just feels like I am dying, okay? So let's gonna run over here again, and trust me, this buff is, in my opinion, okay, the strongest out of all the buffs for the different heroes, okay? Honestly, I can't really remember why I thought it was the best, but we just have to go and read through exactly what it does to see why I thought it was the best, because trust me, it is definitely really strong. Okay, so Retribution, and then this one. Extremely fast, okay? Look at that! Oh, he is so strong, look at that, we have already probably the fastest red buff so far. Okay, but let's go read through it. Mage buff, skill cooldowns reduced by 20%. Okay, so basically like the old blue buff, all the cooldowns is down by 20%, which is really strong, okay? But it's not done just yet. Skill mana consumption reduced by 50%, so all mana consumption is down by 50% as the tank, okay? So, which is really strong. And then, let's see where, magic powers increased by 30 points, okay? Extremely strong, okay? In my opinion, this Mage buff is definitely the strongest out of all the different buffs for the different roles. I just think this is really strong. It's basically the same as the old blue buff, but just a small thing added right there. So yeah, really strong. So if you're a Mage player, good for you. You should really gonna try to take either the red buff or the blue buff, because it will still gonna give you the same thing. But yeah, if you're a Mage, this will definitely gonna give you really good stats, either if you're taking the red buff or the blue buff, okay? But let's gonna take a look at the Marksman's buff. And this time we're playing Arethyl, because she is a marksman, obviously. So let's go ahead and jump into it. This is taking so long, just ending and starting the game over and over again. Jesus Christ. Okay, so bam, yet again we are in the spawning location, and this time with Rethel, this is close to the last time, the second last time I'm gonna be doing this, and then the last time will be the support buff, which we're gonna take a look at. This Marksman buff, I can't really remember what it did. It increased her, well, Marksman's like physical damage or like penetration or something like that. I can't say for sure though, because I don't really remember. Well, let's gonna take a look at it. Do like this and then that, there we go, and then just kills it. I just really think that it's really fun that Harley honestly took down the red buff right here a lot faster than a Rethel. Reason is why, because they've been buffing a lot of mages recently, making them extremely strong, so that's why he was able to take it down a lot faster. Look at that, I'm like losing half of my health, though I'm not running around so much, which I can't do with a Rethel. But yeah. Oh yeah, now I remember, this buff is also really good. Let's take a look at that. Marksman buff increased 10% of physical attack. Okay, so physical attack on all my abilities has been increased, all my abilities and the auto attacks, okay? And then skill on hit will increase user's movement speed by 15% last 2 seconds. So basically this buff is honestly probably the best on a Rethel, because she can run and attack at the same time. So basically if you have this buff, so let's gonna take a look at my movement speed. See my movement speed right there, 250. But if I hit someone, look at this, it will increase to 287, which is really good for her because she's able to attack and run at the same time, and that will increase her movement speed, okay? And this will also go ahead and work on your abilities, so take a look at that, bam. And now it's 287. Really cool, I really do enjoy this, but I still think that the mage buff is still a lot stronger, okay? But let's gonna take a look at the next buff and see how strong that one is. It's Esther's turn to get the buff. And bam, yet again we are here. But this is the last time, I have to say that. So I was gonna buy the jungle item for Estes. Bam, I'm gonna be using that ability. I think Estes can probably gonna take the red buff fairly fast as well after this update, because they just buffed him so much. Well, not specifically Estes, but they just made a lot of mages and stuff like that in general a lot stronger, okay? And the support buff, I think that also was fairly good. Not the best one. The best one is definitely for the mages, but yeah, we were gonna see. Gonna do that, and that. There we go. Look at that, half health already. Definitely gonna be able to take this faster than what I did with a Rethel. Maybe, I'm not completely sure. I think that's really weird. I think Marksman should be able to take this faster than like supports at least, but yeah. Either way, it's done. So yeah, right, I kind of remember this. So look at that, support buff, skill cooldown reduced by 10%, okay? So all skills reduced by 10%, which is really great. And then mana regeneration increased by 50 points, health increased regeneration by increased by 50%, okay? So 50 points on the mana, okay, which is really great. So take a look at, if we see right here, on the top right corner it says mana regen, it's 69 currently. You can see if I use my abilities right there, you can see that it's going up extremely fast, okay? So from now on, buffs will be good on like almost all the heroes. It will be useful. Now it's not only like marksmen who should gonna take this buff, and not only mages who should take that one. Everybody can gonna take the buff, and it will still be useful. So now you can't complain if someone actually gonna steal the buff, because it's as useful for them as it is for you, okay? And I really like that. Honestly, I like that they have done this, okay? A lot of people might be sad that they, for example, and this, I'm sad about this as well, on the blue buff, everyone will not gonna get that 20% cooldown. It's only mages and I think, was it tanks, that will gonna get that cooldown reduction with 20%. Supports will get 10%, but then it's like, yeah, for the rest it's just random stuff, okay? But yeah, guys, comment down below what you think about these changes for all the heroes, like roles and stuff like that. I think it's pretty dope. I kind of like it. Just really sad about the blue buff, but yeah, what? Nothing really much that we can do. I hope I was nice to you guys, but as always, thank you for watching. Remember, guys, if you want to buy a mobile grip, there will be a link down in the description. And if you're doing that, you gotta remember to use the code BluePanda to get 10% off. Okay, and you will also be supporting the channel a bit by doing this. Thanks.